Hey guys, Alex Jebailey here. You might know me as CEO Jebailey, along with my guest host tonight, Chris Miller, aka DJHuoshen. How's it going, Chris?
All right, how you doing, Jebailey?
Pretty good, man. Nice long day at work, and a lot on my mind I want to talk about. So, um, let's just jump right into it. If you guys could link my outline in there so people can follow along. But first off, I never got it off my chest what I did wrong with CEO 2013 this year because I have a gift, I like to call it, that I'm very self-aware of the mistakes I make as they're happening, and it's kind of a crazy bad habit. Is what you call it, I want like next year to come right away so I can fix all the problems I did. But fortunately, nobody seemed to notice the mistakes I made. A few players had problems with overlapping games, but you know how that is when guys like Chris G are freaking entering 2,000 different games. So that could be a problem. Um, yeah, why don't you talk about your experience first for CEO, and I'll gather my thoughts.
Um, the trip up to CEO was a bit of an event, but I ain't gonna hold that against you. You're obviously not in control of how I travel, so that was an event in itself. But we'll talk about CEO specifically. I had fun overall. I had a pretty good time. I definitely like the venue that you have. My experiences overall were fairly positive. I enjoyed the pool. The pool party on Saturday was amazing. I kind of did contribute to that a little bit, though, maybe with like three things of X Factor, and those things got annihilated. Those things got bodied really quick.
Before I even got there, thanks.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll save you one next year. I promise. I promise. Hey, man, you sponsor that X Factor. I'll guarantee you. I'll have the CEO Jebailey private suite X Factor. So. But like you said, I think my biggest like problem that I had with the tournament was just I had Marvel and KOF pools at the same time, and that was immediately after I had Persona, and Persona kind of ran a little late, and I made it all the way to like the end of my pool, so I had to play that, play Marvel, play KOF back to back to back to back, and it kind of didn't have a chance to really settle down. I basically went on like a 3 hour straight sit down, play game, sit down, play game, and I mean that's just a scheduling issue. That's something that probably could be worked out with maybe a little better system, but you got more than enough time to work that out and plot that for next year.
Yeah,
Uh,
I do it manually. Curly W stepped up to the plate, but it was just too late, and I was too stubborn to switch it up at the last second in case I had any issues. So next year we're definitely going to work with Curly W to do it the same way that Keats does it. It's just one of the biggest mistakes I made this year was the registration program I used. Last year, or the last 2 years, I used Eventbrite, and they literally took like 15% of my fees, or 15% out of my total revenue in fees. So that was like $3,000 loss, basically, to them to do it. So I switched to, instead of PayPal, because I have a history with PayPal, I don't like using it. I will use it next year, though, and use what everyone else has been doing, like Evo and stuff, so I don't have these issues. But what you call it, I used authorize.net, which is like a PayPal almost, but it's direct through my bank. And their fees are like way less than PayPal, but it was all like you had to manually do it, manually charge credit cards. So I always had issues where some people just could not connect to the server to pay. And so I was literally taking credit cards over the phone for registration like the last week before CEO registration was over. So I still, I knew I made a mistake. I covered for it. I took responsibility and made sure everybody was registered. I made it publicly known everywhere. Hey, if you're having issues, email me. I will take the time out to talk to you. So that was one way to correct the mistake, but definitely next year I'm fixing up that registration issue. Scheduling was a problem. Last year, for some reason, went much better than this year. However, every pool except Tekken did finish on time, and the only reason why Tekken pools had such an issue is I had one Ace Unlimited from Tennessee. He registered last minute, and there was only space left to put him in like the later pools for like 4 different games. But all the pools went fine. Finals day was horrendous. And I don't know if people noticed or saw me on stream, but you could see me literally running back and forth in the back of the hotel to the front to get people to play their AE matches. Because one mistake I did make, and it's one thing I'm going to learn from Evo, is you got to make Finals Day more prestigious. Like I'm all about the casuals and letting people have a lot of fun to play all the games they want, and people love that about CO. They said, we were able to play till 10 o'clock Sunday night, and we got so many, matches in, practice for EVO, stuff like that. So I was really happy to do that. Next year, luckily, since I do have more than one ballroom now, I can, on finals day, move the casual room to another room, kind of like EVO did, where you can watch the stream and hear commentary, which is my plan for next year, because I really liked how EVO did that. They had no choice. They needed 2 ballrooms because everything's gotten so big, but it really worked out in their favor. I found myself on Sunday, other than Marvel and AE, in the other room still playing dive kick and stuff. So those are the mistakes I made scheduling because I tried to do top 16 and stuff. I will never attempt to do that again. That was a really big mistake. So yeah, that's the mistakes I caught with CEO. Organization, other than that, my staff really took over, man. I was very stressless. I know it's not a word, but I was pretty stress-free for the weekend because of everyone. But
the ring was much better last year. CO 2012, that wrestling ring, cool idea.
Right.
That was terrible though, because not so much the idea, but when people were slapping their hands on that ring and that thing bounced, that was obnoxious during play. But this year that boxing ring was perfect. Like people could still get hype on the ring and it wasn't too bad at all. So I like that. And the best moment for me at CEO during the tournament, which someone tweeted out. Here's a question for you, Jebailey. How much did Mike Ross get fined for destroying the cage?
He owes me. He bought me like 2 dinners throughout the weekend, so I put him to work.
Yeah, funny story too. He destroyed it right on me. You couldn't quite see me on the camera, but I was sitting right there at the edge, and when he destroyed it, that fence actually fell on me. So I had to help fix the fence.
I saw people fixing it. I didn't see it as it happened, but I turned and I'm like, who broke it? And I ran over. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And Mike's just sitting there smiling, and everyone's like, oh. I'm like, what the hell? You can see him fixing it right now on the YouTube video. But yeah, dude, I died when I saw that, man. I'm like, you got to be kidding. And I'm finally glad I have a video to show everybody. It's 40 seconds. Do you remember the stick bag I threw?
Oh my God! Yeah,
somebody finally got video of it. I hope it shows the ceiling because I have not seen this video yet. But I don't know if you guys witnessed it. Well, first off, the cage. That was pretty hype that it happened. I wish there was a better camera angle. Even Kotaku, we've been taught. They told me like, if you had a better angle of that and we knew right away, we would have shown that. I thought that was pretty badass. But thank you, General Skirmish. You have the video. All right, we're gonna show a real quick video. I'm gonna put some sound on it. This should be really good, but. I'm just going to show you what happened. Hopefully he has it all.
Hands up.
Did you ever tell the hotel
Look,
staff?
yeah, you see that ceiling, guys? It's all the way in the top. Those little.
Somebody get Scorpion to teleport up there and get it for us.
Yeah, in that. Yeah.
I've already caused enough
Did
trouble
you
at this
ever
freaking
tell the
hotel.
staff
I know
about
you
that?
can't
Or are you hoping that one day it will just drop and someone go, what the? Oh, hey, a bag.
Man, I wish he had that in full. Yeah, I never told them, so I'm hoping next year we can tell him, hey, yeah, there's something up there you might want to get. And yeah, but no, I chucked that thing good, man. And when it went up there, it literally was like perfection of just right into that little crack in the ceiling, and everyone went nuts. That was a good moment. I love doing the raffle, man. I love entertaining and having fun. But anyways, so to sum it up, CEO, I look back, man. It was really a humbling experience for me. Majority of people said it was one of the best events of their life. And to me, that gives me pressure to just do better, and I like that kind of pressure. I had a debate, like a cocky debate with somebody, like, you're the only one innovating. Like, how are you going to be challenged if nobody else is doing other stuff? And I thought about that, like, both sides of the coin. And I'm like, I could just keep doing what I'm doing, but it's not in my nature to not try harder. So
Try hard.
yeah, I know, right? I have ideas for the next 3 years, but after that, I'm drawing blanks. But we'll see what happens. All right, so let's talk about EVO. How did you do? What did you enter?
All right, so I entered Persona, KOF, Marvel. Those are the 3 games I entered. KOF is the game I take most serious. Marvel is just, it's been my game that I've been playing. And Persona is like, I'm going to have fun with this. which is funny because the game I did the best in was Persona. I got top 16 in that. I ended up losing a mirror match Yukiko. So I was happy with that, and especially since I lost my very first set in that tournament, and then from there it was a straight losers brackets run to top 16. So I got top 16 in that game, and then even more fun was commentating top 8 with Dasted Bro. That was great. I was glad I had the chance to do that. What did you think of top 8 Persona?
Man, I have a confession. I came in just for like the final 3 matches. I really missed out on it. I think I was grabbing lunch at the time, or something. So I apologize for that. I watched all of Persona at CEO though.
Killing me, Smalls.
I know, man. So it was who? It was Lord Knight and the Japanese in the end, right?
Yeah, it was Lord Knight versus Yume, who's like one of the top Japanese players, top Aegis player, could easily be argued as the best player, if not easy top 3. He just completely outspaced LK. The grand final was the least hype match of them all, but every other match was amazing. So if you guys in the chat have a chance after you watch the esports hour after this, go check out Persona Top 8. Like every match except the grand final match was about as hype as you can get in terms of that game Persona. It was amazing. The play was just off the charts.
I tell people, man, it's my favorite anime game since Guilty Gear, hands down. It has, like, just as a player, I did play a little bit with Chie and stuff. I didn't get into it too much, but online was solid. I just didn't have time to pick it up. That's why I just stick to Street Fighter 4 because I've been doing it for 5 years now. But Persona, man, just has, at first I remember I streamed it going through the mechanics and like, man, this is way too much. But then once you play like a couple hours and you adapt to it, you're just like, wow. This is a really fluid fighter with your mix-ups, your overheads, your burst, your general burst, stuff like that. So as a player, I really like that game. I respect it. I would love to bring it back to CO next year, but we got to see how Blaze Blue does. The new Blaze Blue, Chronoplasm, is that going to be Japan only, or they're bringing it to the States?
It's going to be in States. Chrono Phantasma will be out in Japan October, and then I believe stateside will be out January. Quick side note, I am getting into a little bit of rivalry with a couple other Makoto players in BV. That's going to be settled at NEC, so that should be fun. But hopefully, they did a lot of changes to that game, and hopefully those changes will be better appreciated and better liked by everyone in the community, and they'll kind of pick that up. So we'll see how that goes. It all just depends on the community.
Right, nice. But yeah, back to EVO. I had a great time. I entered a couple games. Street Fighter, I made it out of winners of my pools. I don't practice the game as much, but I just, when EVO comes around, once CEO's done, I play nonstop with CJ Truth and stuff. And I lost to Latif, fair enough, and I lost to Arturo. Actually, I was really salty about Arturo's loss because I beat him the first game, and even Arturo's like sweating, like, what the hell? And then I kind of threw it away. I just kept trying to jump in on Dalsim, and I got impatient and lost it. But I was happy with my performance. I ended up running pools for my AE pool and Injustice. And I got to be honest, guys, I love Injustice. If you guys remember, I was streaming it every day nonstop. But playing it on PS3 at EVO was the most miserable experience of my life. It made me nearly quit the game. I have not touched it since EVO because just playing on it, there was so much lag. And I didn't bring my own stick. I bought a brand new stick, the Silent Japanese sticks, which are amazing. But I wasn't used to the lack of feedback. So I was dashing, nothing came out, but just I was playing that match and I was seeing the lag as it was happening. And that's why I switched to Xbox at CEO. But and it's funny when you run your own pools. I ended up going like 4-2 in Injustice, but it's so funny. You feel miserable or bad when you run your pool that you're winning in. It's like, okay, I got to play now. We'll play. And as soon as you beat them, like, all right, next match we have, jumping back and forth. So it's kind of funny when I did do that. I felt bad, but it wasn't a fun experience for me as a player. Like playing the game, it wasn't fluid. It wasn't fun. Hopefully that changes in the future. I do not think Injustice should be play on PS3. AE is not so bad. You adjust to the one frame, even though it is a difference. But Injustice, man, was miserable. I remember going up to Ed Boon. I'm like, could you fix your shit, please? Like, it's not us, man. It's the PS3. I swear. Like Hector's even telling me that. And then you go talk to somebody else. Like, dude, it's the game. It's NRS. I'm like, why does Xbox run fine? So lessons learned. But
KOF.
yeah.
Did you see KOF at least?
Yeah, of course, man. Reynolds.
I wake up at like 9 a.m., man. I had to make sure I had myself some real good KOF seats.
Yeah, I love KOF, man, but because it doesn't have a good online, I don't play it. That's why I played Street Fighter so much. But Overall, though, Evo, I loved it. I entered Smash, and I felt so bad because my first match was against a girl who was actually pretty good, but I practiced a bit before I went. But it was just like the irony that I'm entering Smash for my first time in like 5 years. I have to play a female on stream, so I'm either going to get flack, and most of the people are like, dude, show no mercy, beat her, And I won that match. It was close, and then I lost to a really good... That game, man, when there's bad matchups, they're like freaking 11-0, man. There's no like 7-3, 8-2. It's like 11-0, and I had Peach, and I can't beat a Fox to save my life. I can't beat a Sheik or a Marth. Even the top players have to counterpick certain matchups. But I had fun playing Smash, man, which brings me to my next topic. And I entered Cross Tech, and I didn't show up to my 8 a.m. pool because I was too tired, and I really don't play it anymore. And supposedly,
good job, Jebailey. Way to make sure you're on time for your pools.
Well, dude, and I heard like only 5 people showed up to my pool, so my chances of making out, I'm like, crap. And I will say, for the record, I was seeded in AE because I placed top 16 in SCR. It helped me, man. Some people it doesn't help, but for the majority, I think the seeding system worked because I was in a pool with names I never heard of. I ended up against a SoCal player, Thrillhouse, and he had to counterpick Akuma against me, which I hate, but I fought it out and beat him. But the seeding worked for me, man. It saved me from getting any bad matchups.
Oh, it didn't work for me at Marvel. My very first matchup, VX Dante, and then I had Paradigm, the VXG winner. In my pool. I ended up making it out in losers. I didn't even make it to Paradigm though. I got bodied by a Canadian player, I believe. I can't remember his name, but I had to play him back in losers final, and I should have lost that. Honestly, I shouldn't even made it out of pools, but I frauded my way out in losers. And then very first match, Killer Kai, 3-2 loss.
Nice. But overall, Evo, amazing experience, man. I as a player, I obviously would choose it over CEO. A lot of players feel though CEO is like a more intimate Evo now. But yeah, there's nothing like Evo, man. Being there finals day, I had great time with the setup. Always casuals to do. I didn't get a chance to go to any of the panels, but I watched a couple afterwards. And read up on. But overall, Evo is great. Next topic I wanted to talk about is the rebirth of Smash. That's why I'm showing it. You don't play Smash, or have you ever played Smash?
About as casual as you can get. Like, played in my dormitories back when I was going to college with friends and, talk smack. But certainly not the level these guys are playing it. Holy crap.
Right. Yeah, dude. I used to play a lot. I used to win a lot of local tournaments with Peach back in the day. But the pros now, this was like, year 1, year 2 of when the game came out. Now it's just if you can't wave dash and move like these guys, it's insane. And you see some of their pads they've been using for life. The D stick, the stick is like completely worn out and stuff. But I have Hungry Box. He got 3rd place this year. He lives in Orlando with me, and he ran one of my events one year, and then the next year he had to bail out the last second for whatever reasons. But we've been working together again, and I was there with him, man, supporting him, and I felt so bad. He actually was unaware of it was only 2 out of 3 in winners and losers, which is what Evo has always done. It's only Grand that's 3 out of 5. So obviously you need to follow up on the rules, but one thing I do like to do at CEO, and some events do, some don't, is I tell the players right before they play 2 out of 3, 3 out of 5. So I don't think he asked, obviously, so it's his fault for not knowing. But he was salty, man. He came when he came over one more time. He's like, dude, if I had known it was 2 out of 3, man, I would not have given up that last stock. And I'm like, it's really sorry, man. But he did great. It was just bad matchup. Mango winning was pretty cool. And I know all the top players. And it was really cool, man, because a lot of top players came up to me and they knew who I was. We hope you host the game. And I'm not saying anything official yet, but most likely I'm going to host Smash next year. It just depends if the new one comes out or not. But I was inspired by their community, man, not just the donation drive, but seeing them have a good time. I had no clue Taylor Hicks was there, dude. I literally saw him. And I'm like, all right, whose dad is that? Watching, I swear to God, I was like, whose dad? Who's this kid playing? And then when I read it, I'm like, oh my God, I saw him but had no clue because that was like a decade ago. But
let me quick shout out to VGBC's Dr. PP. He also did really well in Top 8 Smash, so congratulations to him.
No,
I kind of just know the VGBC Video Game Bootcamp guys just through one of our local guys and what he does for that group.
Right.
But, I had someone that I actually could root for in Top 8, so I was rooting for him. So I was kind of heartbroken when he finally lost.
Yeah, I was rooting for Hungry Box, man. I was into every match. After he lost, my interest went down. But I was excited for them, man. I have no idea what games Evo's going to host next year. I would love to see Smash back. But regardless, Florida's always had a nice, good scene. I have people to help, so I would love to have it back. We just got to see when the new one's coming out, because that villager, man, he's going to whoop some ass.
Oh, wow.
I
Hey,
can't
yo.
wait. All right, so yeah, that was the rebirth of Smash, and now I believe TFC added Smash. A lot of FGC events are hosting it now. It's not really a cash grab, I think. I think we need the Smash just as much as they need us, but definitely we still need the community to step up, and CRTs are not easy to come by, and I found a solution, which is using the LGP systems, the LGP portable. You can actually input component from a Wii, because you can backwards compatible play GameCube games, and put it into that, and it'll spit out the image lagless completely via HDMI to an Evo monitor or a lagless monitor. So I've talked to a lot of people about it. Even MLG has taken that hint from me. So that might be the backup for when CRTs are completely gone. You're like going to a pawn shop. Yeah, it's $3,000 for that 17-incher, because it's so rare.
Yeah, Gimmer, the VGBC guy who runs our stream, is actually researching and looking into it. So he actually has my LGP right now because he was borrowing it and trying to research it.
I was the one telling that, and they're like, we need the science, man. We need the numbers. I'm like, all you need is Jebailey's opinion because I'm good at this. And I had Hungrybox and a couple players test it, and we streamed it. And even Hungrybox and I were looking at it like, wow, this is legit. Like, it was actually legitimately working. So let's see. So yeah, VXG. Let's pull up some VXG YouTube videos. So that's Smash. I'm happy for Smash. I hope they keep growing. Their scene has stepped up. I've been in the Smash. It's the Melee at Toomey Facebook group. I'll link it in a second to the page. But awesome group, man. They've been really respectful to me. They've been supportive of me, so I like to support them back, and we'll see how Smash goes. But it's going to be crazy when the new one comes out, see how people react if the Melee scene, because Melee's 12 years old, man. For them to still have such a huge scene, it's incredible,
Yeah, but that could be the scary issue. It could be like a game where it was like Brawl, where like a lot of the old players kind of look at it and kind of have some kind of rejection because it's not quite what they expect, or it might have some issues. So let's hope for the best. Let's hope Smash comes out, really strong, because I might play it again if like new Smash comes out and everyone's picking it up.
Man, I'm not finding any VXG match footage from the weekend. Let's see. Let's go to...
Yeah, probably the streamers are probably just like...
They're still on the beach partying. So.
Either they're on the beach or they're just flying back now. I know Lord Knight just got back not too long ago, so he just touched down.
Nice.
So.
Okay. Well, I'm going to pull up their stream. We can watch that. Okay, so yeah, our next time. So that was Evo and Smash. Great time. Can't wait for next year. I'm hoping their date ends up being a few extra days after CEO, or a few extra weeks. I know it's kind of close, but I had, China showed up, CN came over, a lot of internationals came and stayed the whole weekend. So that was pretty cool. Sorry for the ad in the background, guys. We'll give that a second.
What are you doing?
Just figuring out our Friday night.
Yep. So, VXG. Let's see if I can look at some of the Twitter questions coming up. I think, though, all the Twitter questions that we're going to be asked are kind of falling under the same scope.
Right.
What do we think about VXG? What do we think about that Marvel Finals? And what do we think about the event in general? And we'll definitely touch on that. Because, I mean, there was a lot of bad things, but a lot of good things, too. Honestly, I kind of wish I could have gone to the beach. It would have been really fun. Nice little vacation for me. But because it was so close to Evo, I couldn't quite have the leave to take the time off to kind of relax and have a good time. So I had to pick, VXG or Evo, and I picked Evo, and I'm glad I did. Some other people like Long Island Joe picked VXG, and from what I can tell, he had a pretty good time for his weekend there. So.
Yeah, no, the players did. Right after CEO, Rolando hit me up. He goes, hey, if you want to come out, man, we'll take care of you. I just couldn't take any more time off. But before we get into the questions about it, I will tell you my experience with VXG before it happened. I remember when I first met Rolando, I believe it was at Umicon in person. I loved the guy, man. Honestly, he was pretty much what I was doing before the first couple CEOs, was going to every event, promoting his event, trying to get more people to come, which is what you should be doing. Once Triforce got involved, I'm like, okay, guys, you got to be careful with this. You can't be doing this and stuff. So I lost interest in being a part of it. They did. I was actually one of the first events they hit up to be a qualifier, and I just have a rule. I don't care who's involved with it. If it's your first or second year, I do not like to support it because I want to see it be run as a tournament first and foremost, because I am a tournament organizer. The event, the entertainment comes second. So just when I heard, vacation stuff like that, and I told them, like, you guys are really close to Evo, you should move it out. But they had, the tourism board could only support in July because that was when their budget was available. But, they pushed big, man, and I got to give them props for traveling to events, doing qualifiers. They took care of everyone that had a mishap with qualifiers in the end. They covered their tracks in a positive way by taking care of their mistakes. So it it worked out. And I'm not trashing Triforce. I'm just telling you I wasn't interested. But overall, just as a tournament, I pay attention to every event as it happens, and it just irks me when they're not prepared. Because, this guy went to, I got to pause the thing for a while, he had went to various tournaments. You had all the time in the world to learn from an organizer how to actually run the event. And there was like 5 TOs, and I know at first I picked on people. I'm like, guys, step up, help this event out. But they did. They really helped turn it around and become a good event. But, just to see, Galleon with a napkin with the schedule the day before, I'm like, are you kidding me? So that was, a disaster that was saved.
That was very questionable, but both Larry Shiblanka and Eric Biggie both stepped up and took control of the whole situation. Said, "All right, we've been around this rodeo before. We're gonna handle it and make sure things get done." And they did, and they took care of business and got things done.
Right. And yeah, no, they did, and I read about that, and good for them. I mean, when you have a small event, no offense to VXG, it's easy to really fix your tracks and stuff. So to see them underprepared for a small amount of entrance was kind of shocking, but glad it worked out. I mean, I watched the stream majority of the weekend. Gutex's Pandora Box laugh got re-released. But yeah, so overall, though, I enjoyed watching it until the Marvel Finals because I was loving. They played, man. When they were in Winners Finals, it was Flocker and Chris G. There were no pulled punches there, man. They tried. Obviously, though, when you're promoting, my biggest gripe with VXG from the get-go was I've been through Revelations. I've been through Game. I know an organizer that's about the money when I hear it, So for them to go big prize pots right away in their first, second event, that's just a no-no. It doesn't work, man. And I would love to see players get paid more. But, you have to grow your event small and make the people that want to go attend it have a good time, not just the top players. Because all I saw from the weekend was the top players, and all I ever saw in the crowd on the stream were, Neo, Justin Wong, who left early for whatever reason, PR Rog, Filipino champ. It was just them. I did not see any casuals besides like the Dominican Republic guys, DR Ray that kicked some ass in AE with Fei Long and stuff. You didn't see anything, so it was bothersome to me. I'm like, okay, they're tripling their numbers, but I'm not seeing a lot of people here, and it was a great, it was a great experience for the top players that went on a nice vacation, but that's how it should have been marketed from the get-go, not a tournament, because the tournament seemed like an afterthought to me. I'm glad at the end it worked out. AE was great. That was a great finals, seeing PR Rog and Dominion. Guile versus Balrog matchup is usually the worst thing to watch, but freaking he kept going in, man. That was an inspiration to me. Yep.
6-1, completely. I don't know. I look at Dominion play and he does so well against the matchups that I think he's going to lose, but then there's a matchup I think he's going to dominate, and I don't know what happens.
Yeah, I don't think that was staged at all. I think they really played their hardest because there was some stuff in there where they were trying to beat each other. But PR Rog, man, he's been on a tear. He just can't beat Hakan.
He's been at 3 top 8s at Evo in the last 3 years. Am I wrong?
Nope. The first year I met him, which was 2009, I believe, and then the last 2 years, yep, so 3 times. Dude, he's one of the best. He's why my Balrog is as decent as it is. I won't say good. But overall, man, all right, so let's get to the topic everyone wants to know about, and that's CEO 2014, guys. Here it is. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so pot splitting. Let's first and foremost talk about it. What is your opinion on pot splitting and underperforming? They go hand in hand, so what is your problem with them?
Oh, problem? All right. I don't know if people are gonna like my thought, but please hear me out. I have no problem with pot splitting. Pot splitting, all right. So if I'm playing like unknown in grand finals of CEO 2014, and it's him and me, oh you can bet we're gonna split the pot. No, I have no qualms about that. That's gonna be done. However, underperforming, no. No matter what, even if me and unknown were to split a pot, we would still go hard on each other. We would still both be trying to win, because we both have a little bit of ego with each other. We both want to beat each other. We want to be able to like go back to our local or our Xanadu local and just talk smack. Be like, yo, I put hands on you at CEO. You can hold that. So we would still go hard, and quite frankly, I think everyone did not like the fact that, they kind of just slacked. They kind of, I'm talking about like Flocker and Christie, they just kind of stopped caring, and it kind of made the experience kind of shitty. There's no way to describe it other than it just being terrible. I don't want to watch that stuff. I don't want to watch people half-ass. Like I don't care if they split or not. I want to see a good match. I want to see, Flocker go nuts and put hands on Christie, or I want to see Christie just submit Flocker with a wall of fireballs, and I just want to be able to talk about that Monday. I don't want to be talking about pot splitting. I want to talk about how people just kind of stop caring, because that kind of offends me to see people like not like caring, especially after they beat me in tournament. It's kind of like, ugh. So I mean that's my main view on it. Like I don't care about the money in these tournaments. I care about the win. Like I would trade all the money that I would get for like an Evo win if I had won Evo. Like I just wouldn't care about the money. I would care about the W in the end. I would have cared about the CEO belt. I would have cared about the nice trophies that Keats were giving at UFGT. I would just care about that more than I would care about the money.
Right. I mean, as much as people put slack on the players, I have to take off some of that slack from them. It's prevention is key in this situation. And, I don't want to put VXG in blast because everybody that was there. But if you have an event where there's so much money at stake, you need to pay attention. If you see me at events, Evo, UFGT, Final Round, we're all watching the finals with intent. Like you see all the staff for Evo sitting on the stage as it happens. So that shit wouldn't fly with us. Excuse me. Seeing nobody there during finals felt like those guys were in their bedroom playing each other, and like just no crowd and nobody cared. I mean, and a lot of people are like, well, why didn't Capcom do something? Why didn't this? It's really first and foremost the tournament organizers' discretion to pay attention. And I don't know what was going on, but I didn't see anybody like just caring. Nobody cared, and it's an environment thing. The players knew it was a vacation. It was a free trip to have a good time. They qualified, had a great time. Once they hit top 3, they just stopped caring, and it's just like we're going to split the money. Why even bother, And, at Texas Showdown, the crowd was egging them on to play random. So I support that. Don't listen to the crowd, obviously, but the crowd was like, hey, why don't you guys play random, make it interesting? So they listened to them. Here, there was no crowd. They just said to themselves, screw it. We're on vacation right now. Let's not care. And that's what happened. And I love Flocker. He's Florida's own and stuff. And I don't think Flocker's mostly at fault because he was already in the winner's side. He earned that right to be in the winner's grand finals. It was an agreement between the players. Hey, let's just split whatever. And this isn't confirmed. I have no idea, but I know underperforming when I see it. And those guys, it was disrespectful to the event, to Mad Cats, to Capcom Fighters, even Hunts. Was like, what the hell? But nobody said anything. They could have easily said something. Hey guys, do your shit, play your shit, But nobody cared, man. Everyone just seemed to be just having fun. And we can't really blame VXG too hard other than they were underprepared and didn't do their job as an organization. But, I think they'll learn from their mistakes because this was their second year having, more U.S. players over there. So they don't really understand how it works over here. So no other event in the States can go, all right, we're banning these guys for what they did on a beach. So just – if it were to happen at CEO, I would literally hit an eject button on the seat and kick him out of the ring. I don't worry about it. I sincerely do not worry about it. Hey, look, Phoenix Strike. Chris G knows him. I sincerely do not worry about it because I am there and I'm preventing it by being there and paying attention and caring. APA, man. Acolyte Protection Agency. No, always pay attention. So you can prevent it by not allowing it. I do know something soon is going to be announced about just a better clause for collusion. It's always been in the Evo rules that you can't collude. You'll be forfeit of everything and stuff like that. So, but there's going to be more, not solace, solidifying of this rule for most events. Just they were on a beach, man. They were having the time of their lives. They didn't take it seriously. They won big money. So you can't fault them too bad. It's just the event should have paid attention and done something to stop with it.
It was, again, the event's first time working with that many international players. Like last year, they did have Sanford and and a few people, but they had a lot more players this time. So again, lessons learned for them, something that they can take away and learn for next year if they can, keep it on going, because that's always the big worry for TO, making sure that they got everything going so that they're ready to go next year.
Right. I mean, like I said, I wasn't there, so I can't give my personal event of the opinion, but from what I saw, I know what I saw basically. But if the players, they claim to have a great time, man, but I think, again, the tournament was an afterthought. It was a vacation, but when you have money at stake, man, you need to pay attention, take it seriously. Prevention is key in this situation. You can't really do anything to the players because nobody was stopping them. Nobody was paying attention at the time. So, but, I enjoyed it up until the finals, obviously. And I've heard people like, well, what if he was picking a counter team? I'm like, yeah, okay. But although Flocker, in his defense, actually knows how to play Trish. And it was hilarious when Green Ace is like, this son of a bitch is going to win a major with Trish before me. So that was pretty entertaining when he tweeted that. But yeah, as for sponsors, I mean, I don't know what's going on with AGE. We'll talk about that next. Like if Chris G's still on it, because they only said a few players and they never really came out with a full-on statement. But FGC, we're still growing, man. We're not officially esports. We don't have one, presidential body to govern stuff like this. So again, it was a third world country having the event. It's their rules. They just got to pay attention, and hopefully they learn from. I'm sure he will. But a lot of organizers were there, man. Everyone was having fun at the beach, so nobody paid attention.
Yeah,
and you can't do anything.
Yeah, vacation-wise, VXG looked like to be a pretty good success. Apparently, LK now has legendary party powers, according to Mr. Triforce himself.
Well, moving on. But yeah, so last thing on VXG, it should have just always been portrayed as a fun event, not a tournament, because to me, that was not a tournament. And it doesn't matter the low turnout. I heard their Call of Duty and their other games that their countries are known for did really well. But, if you're going to be a tournament and in the FGC and you want to be a part of the FGC, you need to be more respectful of the general rules and the conduct. And like I said, they're going to learn from it, so we'll see what happens. But in my opinion, it's prevention is key. I've always prevented CO by not just doing the prize. I mean, you can do like a prize so they can't split, they can't cut something in half, a belt or anything. But it's just prevention. When there's an environment of a huge crowd watching, stuff like that, they're going to have so much pride, these players, that they're not going to throw anything out, take anything for granted. So, but they enjoyed the event, man. You know what? Let them have it. Just if they do that in any of one of the established majors here in the States, shit's going to go down. We're definitely not going to let that slide next time. I mean, personally, I would stricken the person of the money or both players and either donate to a charity or pass it down to the next placing finisher or have them play it out, or do a run bracket, a salty run bracket with all the O2s and have them play each other for it to be more hype. But yeah.
I would, hopefully VXG just does a better job scheduling next year, because again, I think it was just a little bit of bad timing too. I think a little more people would have had a lot more money in the pocket and just had more time to go if it was a little better planned for next year. So hopefully, I would love to see it in like January, only because it's winter time. It's cold weather. Screw this! I'm going to the beach.
Yeah.
That would be awesome for me. I would love that, but I don't know if that would happen or not. So
yeah, I mean, if I went, I would have had a good time. ATVing like those other people, but yeah, we won't talk about commentary at the event. But yeah, so that's VXG. Let's talk about AGE next. Use promo code. I don't know what's going on with those guys anymore. But so here's my. This is advice I want to give, and this is about AGE. First off, if anybody from AG is paying attention, as a team, meeting Sebastian, their manager, who's no longer their manager and stuff, they were amazing, dude. They had a great budget. They took care of their players very well. And because of that, they sent their players to our events. Like COs, I had like 10 AGE members from all over. Van came out. I didn't expect that till the last second. The usual suspects came, Chris G, Flash, all that stuff. Even Saber came out, and they were given an opportunity from these sponsors. But these guys, man, they gotta appreciate what they have. Do you know how many of the stream monsters or people watching at home would kill for free trips to go play video games? And I really think they're taking it for granted.
What? Stream monsters? You're talking to like a guy that would love free trips.
I mean, stream monsters and the Persona players. Oh wait, not Persona players. The guys like you, the mid tier guys that deserve their 15 minutes of fame.
Thanks.
Is that
Mid-tier.
better?
All right.
Okay. All right.
Mid-tiers.
You know what I mean, man. Anyways, the people that aren't sponsored, they would love these opportunities, and I think a lot of these players are taking it for granted. And like with Evil Geniuses, it's hard to sell a product. But my advice to AGE, let's see if I can pull up their website, AGE or whatever. And by the way, shout out to them. Like I said, they're very supportive of the events. They never sponsored events until NCR, I believe, but that was their way of rectifying things. And as a business, I think they would have made more money sponsoring more events. My heart belongs to Mad Catz, though, because Mark Man is just the best, personally. And until a lot of other companies really take risks and really support us, there's no reason to find other sponsors because Mad Catz just does such an amazing job of support. They support more people than anything. But like with AGE, it's just like I said, I think they're taking it for granted. As much as I love Flash Metroid, please, man, stop saying all these things you're saying on Twitter, dude. And they're complaining about pot sizes, and we can talk about Evo's pot in a minute, stuff like that. But it's like you have this opportunity as a player, to make your company money by the most simplest things. Like if I was a Fnatic, right, for example, he killed it. I'm sure he had the most sales with all his streams and stuff. He killed it. Like if you're at an event with the headphones, why don't you go up to a random player and go, hey, would you like to hear my brand new PSP headphones? See what you think. That's being a salesman, but that's like saying, here, why don't you play with these for the next match? See what you think. And a player's going to go, man, those were really good. I'm going to get a pair, because these weren't being sold at the events. The only person that had any headphones on him was Chris G with like 10 of them. He could go and rent them out for the day, and people could see if they want to buy it. Yeah, I mean, that's an easy way they could have done it. They could have marketed more, done more streams to talk about their stuff. It was pretty much Fnatic. When he was on the Final Round stream promoting his own product, I honestly didn't have any problems with it. I know why sponsors had problems with it.
Yeah, well, obviously, if you're a sponsor and that's happening, you should have a problem with it.
Yep.
Just as a sponsor, because, you're not... It's not like, oh, hey, can you just put this stuff up for free? They're throwing in a little bit of money, and here you go. You got someone just advertising for free on the stream their product. I would have a problem with that as a sponsor to the TOs. And yeah, AGE made good on rectifying that issue afterwards. So that got all handled and taken care of, and everything was good from there.
I don't think he did it on purpose. Naturally, I'm really good with body language. He just had no idea. Honestly, he just doing his thing.
I think it was natural. Him being himself on his stream, like he was just when he was on commentary, he was just being fanatic on stream. He would normally be if he was streaming himself.
Yeah.
I am fanatic. Oh, by the way, AGE fanatic. Here's my promo code. Let's go.
Man, I can't buy 895 sets of headphones. They only have a maximum quantity of 291. The hell? Anyways, so yeah, that's one thing. But if you're sponsored by a big company, go out, man. Share their product. Show people. I had Kid Robot team up with CO this year, and they gave me great deals on their products to sell at a discounted price. And I think that's the next step for events. We need to kind of invest in some of the products that the FGC enjoys and wants to buy, and give like a better rate at our event, which makes everybody money, and it makes the customer happy because they're coming to your event to play, but they're also able to pick up their favorite gear and stuff. Yeah, otherwise it's a shame they disbanded, but I think it's a lesson learned.
We don't know if they've completely disbanded though. I think Fnatic is still on. I think maybe Chris is still on. It's a lot up in the air, and that kind of goes into like the PR side of things. They could probably be handling the current issue right now with the team a little bit better, because there's a lot of confusion both with you and me and like a lot of other people as to what's going on. And unless you're on the inside, you don't really see, oh hey, there's still a team going to be on, who's on it, what's the deal? Because I know I saw Wolf Crone still pimping out his AG promo code earlier, so.
Okay, good then. Well, yeah, there's some players that deserve to be where they are. So, but other ones, man, you need to start pushing your product more and make everybody happy. So, but generally, like I said, I appreciate AG. They really supported our events, man. There's no denying it by sending out their players. Just I think the players could have done a lot more to take advantage of their blessed situation. So, all right, I had 2 more topics to talk about the donation drive, but I think we're going to skip that one for now.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my on the chat my spiel on the whole PDP thing as well as the donation thing. So hopefully people can read that, take a look at it, and hit both you and me up if they got any questions about it after the stream.
Yeah, we can go after. I mean, the dive kick stream is going to be on twitch.tv/IronGalaxy, but we have 10 minutes left, so why don't we go to the questions I am looking at. I don't know how to do one by one, but I'm going to scroll over them each. And if you want to ask chat questions, you can do it in the chat too. We'll try to go through them. We have 10 minutes. So let's run through these really quick. You down for it?
Let's go.
All right. So skip that. Concerning preventing collusion, this is from Zach Wallace, a.k.a. Crescents X. Do you think majors could align under a single-body rule set that would allow ruling against players colluding and other violations to be relevant in each major, examples being suspensions? This is a very touchy subject. The reason I say it is there's just so many events, it's really hard to govern. I do know that a lot of us are going to be stressing the EVO rules a lot more moving in the future. It's just until we're all like either funded by one big event or we have somebody like take the reins and really represent every event as a whole, it's really hard for us to do that. But simple rules like colluding and stuff, if we just, basically follow what EVO does, which should be talked about real soon on a bigger scale. I think that's the best way to do it. And, you can suspend somebody from your own event. I would not be against suspending a player if it was just a blatant disrespect to an event that I worked so hard to put on and to the players and everyone watching. Because it's a sham, man. People want to just watch. They want to learn. That's why people are watching these streams, to be entertained. But when you're they might be entertained, you're picking these crap teams, but you're just making everyone look bad. That's a part of the event. And the FGC, man, we're really there, man. We're almost there. We're getting so much coverage by Kotaku, Polygon, all the big sites. So we just got to stop with the BS, man. Any insight from you? Would you like to see everyone under one body? Would you like to see like a FGA, Fighting Game Association, or something like that?
I mean, you guys all talk to each other already, from what I can tell. But I mean, you all want to keep it all regionalized too, because Big E's got his own people that he's got to worry about. Larry's got his own. You got your own. West Coast got their own. So like everyone's got a region that they should be focused on as well. So that can be really difficult to kind of cater to like one global umbrella, because you still want to keep it that local flavor, because that kind of keeps the local people coming out, because they're having fun, because it's their event and their stuff. So like UFGT has their own kind of deal with like the poverty game, the mystery game kind of situation. So I don't know if you make a giant umbrella organization, if TOs will all follow the same rules, same schedule kind of deal. Keep it spread out, but let's hope you guys keep working together, because I know under at least EVO banner you guys keep things talking and keep events going.
Yep. Next, General Skirmish. Jesus, man, you and these questions. You said you would limit the number of people allowed in the ring next year. Perhaps media passes. Can I get one? Yes, you can, because you did a great job covering it. You noticed last year there was just way too many people in the ring, and people were like, get them out. This year the ring was like nearly, a third bigger than last year. But finals day, never ever do I allow anybody in there, but during the rest of the weekend it's pretty chill, and if the players don't have a problem that are playing in it, then I leave it to the players. If a player goes get everyone out right away, I'd be like, get out, but
well, I mean, the problem last year was it was a wrestling ring and it was bouncy as all hell, so with all those people in there just like slapping the rings and stuff, it just made the monitors bounce. But this year it was a boxing ring.
Yeah, and I got the barricades, those Red Bull barricades in front, so people couldn't slam on the ring. So that question. Another PJS winning asked, would you ask other TOs for EVO to reform to attack collusion? Yes, we're working on it. But again, the players, they want to mess up, that's on them. whatchamacallit. Will you guys also be communicating with the Twitch chat to get involved in addition? Yes, where are we doing that? God dang it.
Good stuff.
Gordon from Eastern Canada, my home area. Amongst the list of demands for your Canadian return are a Donaire and Alexander Keats beer. Is there anything else? Just a good time, man. I'm excited to play with your scene. So that's in October. I'll have announcements on that soon. They have some really special prizes for CEO next year.
When exactly is in October? Do you have a date?
It's either, I know it's away from anything big in America. It's either the second weekend, October 12th, 13th, or the following one. It's a big charity event. They don't do cash prizes, but they get a lot of sponsors up in Canada aboard. It's called Frag for Charity 8. It's their 8th year. They're really big. And I'm happy, man. They're inviting me back to my birthplace, to take care of me, and I'm going to help them host the event and do all that stuff. So,
yeah, if it's the second weekend, that'd be bad for me. I'd be interested in going, but that second weekend, Shadowloo Showdown in Australia.
Is it? Oh, crap.
Shout out to the Australians, because
I
talking
thought they were September.
real quick side blurb. You travel, you plan. I'm planning on my flight right now to Shadowloo, so I'm keeping my eyes on flight prices, and I'm trying to get myself a good deal on flights. So I mean, that's just part of travel planning. So
Australia
prices are really rough right now.
Yeah, it's overseas travel. Shout outs to Shadowloo guys. Boss Logic helped me with so many designs in the early CEO years. I'd love to go. If you go to somewhere like Australia, you'd have to take 2 weeks off, and I just can't do that. DJ JeHuoshen, do you regret this decision to be on the show tonight?
So far so good. Up until you called me a mid-tier, you asshole.
Okay, next question. NY Voodoo asks, what do you think are the odds for an actual Marvel batch? They asked for the community's opinion. It's pretty blatantly obvious it's happening. I just realistically don't see it till at least maybe 2015.
I don't even see it happening. I'm going to be honest. I think they're doing that for the next generation Marvel. I don't think we're going to get a patch. It's just going to be there's going to be the new version of Marvel, and it's going to be on the next generation system. So I would expect more along those lines than I would a existing version Marvel patch, because it would probably take them a lot of work to convince them to patch. But if you say, oh, hey, we got the new generation coming out, we can do a new set of sales, they could probably get Marvel more on board.
Nice. I think it's going to happen this gen, but we'll see what happens. Right now, all their focus is obviously on Ultra, so yeah.
You want to bet it? You want to bet $20 side bet?
$20 side bet that this generation will get a Marvel patch? Right?
Yeah.
Deal.
Done.
Shake hands.
Right. Shaking.
Okay, done. All right. By the way, I already know. Sucker. No, I'm just kidding. I actually don't know.
Yo, you can't. Yo, that's collusion right there.
No.
Insider info? Yo.
I honestly don't know. The reason why it's common sense, you have all these Marvel movies coming out. They're obviously going to renew a license. So we'll see. But I'll take that $20 and non-sequential unmarked $1 bills at CO 2014.
I will count them out, and then I will throw them all in your face at CEO 2014.
Thank you. But I mean, they asked, man. Come on, they're obviously curious.
They are. I understand, but
they're pushing Street Fighter 4 because that's still their moneymaker. That's what has the biggest events. I mean, Marvel's right behind it, so we'll see. Next question. What flavor of ice cream will be the first place prize for Smash at CEO this year? Also, do you have any hollows? I made a joke that if I should just host Smash tournaments from now on because nobody's going to want to split ice cream and Pokemon cards. So they actually enjoyed that joke. But I'm a cookies and cream fan. What about you?
Orange sorbet. I'm huge on the orange sorbet. Either that or lemon sorbet. I'm a big on sorbet in general.
Cool. When my shit looks whatever the Super Troopers joke is. Anyways, moving on. Rainbow Sherbert. Okay, next question. I'm really curious about your thoughts, TO's perspective, and this is from Christina Billow, who is my Red Bull girl this year at CEO. What is your perspective on the EVO rule change from 2 out of 3 to 3 out of 5 mid-tournament?
Oh my god.
That is a loaded question, Christina. I'm against it. Obviously, it's their rules. I think it is a bit unfair to the 8 a.m. guys that did wake up. However, at least it was after that pool was done, so it's not as bad as people make it out to be. I think the reason why they did switch it last year, running pools, some of them ran behind, so this year they were cautious. But when they saw that everyone's Marvel tech stepped up, obviously matches were going a lot faster, and that's probably why they switched it. I'm not in their heads, so I don't know why they did it. I personally would not have done that. I would have stuck with whatever rules I said in the beginning. Other rules, though, they can be changed sometimes. I don't have any examples off my head, but it was I wasn't happy with it, but I don't play Marvel, so I really can't complain.
I wasn't happy with the 2 out of 3 initially. I was happy when it got changed to 3 out of 5 when I got to play. But just saying in general, I think they should have just stuck to their guns and said 2 out of 3 pools for the whole way. At least, even though it wasn't quite like the standard per se, they let them know ahead of time, and it was going to be a consistent thing. Had they woke up at like 7:50 a.m. and been like, all right, AM pools 3 out of 5, and just done it right there, and then everyone got 3 out of 5. All right, that's cool, whatever. But kind of go half-seas and make 2 out of 3 in the morning, and then like all of a sudden like 10 a.m. Oh, by the way, you're 3 out of 5. I didn't like that. I didn't think that was cool at all. I think they could have done that better. I mean, they should have just committed to 3 out of 5 before things started, or just committed to 2 out of 3 until pools were done.
Yep, I agree, but it is what it is. It happened, but the top 8 would not have changed. That's my opinion. When stuff like that happens, it always ends up being the same guys. Whether it's one game, you'll have maybe 2 or 3 upsets. But it was nice to see the guy that took out Filipino champ, Cloud 805. Yep,
I called that. I flat out called that.
Nice.
If you see F champs play and see us play against Zeros, the way that Cloud was playing, it was exactly the way that F champ kind of struggles in that matchup. And Cloud was a really good player, really solid player. I've played him online before. His top 8 arrival was legit. I thought he played fairly well all weekend, just watching his matches, and like he had some sick setups too. But I'm just gonna say this real quick. Yo, that Zach guy got the luckiest spread on his bracket, and just I feel so bad for Moons. He should not have lost that. I feel so bad for Moons.
Keep it unbiased, man. Keep it unbiased. No.
Totally biased.
Yeah.
Totally biased.
Okay, so next question. Will we ever see an actual championship title belt for the winners of CEO? We did it 2 years ago because it was sponsored by the King of Chinatown guys, Psycho Crusher Productions. They're like $300, $400 a pop, man. So unless people donate to me, it's really tough. However, I do hopefully plan to get a bunch next year. I found a cheaper alternative that are belts. I can't host 10, 11 games, man, which I didn't talk about earlier, but I'll save that for next time. So yeah, you will probably see belts again. If top players throw matches, will there be penalties? We've been over this. Okay, so Filipino champ. Wow. Please talk about how VXG was promoted and what could have been done to make it appeal to more of the community. Just been honest from the get-go. Hey, we're on vacation. Come to the beach after working so hard at CO and EVO. You'll have a great time. Play some games with the local folk. There you go. That's it.
Have fun.
Yep, exactly. Have fun. Okay, how do you feel about pot splitting? Wow, everyone. Okay, be original. No, okay. 8 new questions. Let's go through this. Okay. So
let's wrap it up quick. We're at 10 o'clock.
Yep, I know. We can go 8 minutes over. This is where the other stream, they're just talking for a few minutes. Okay. I have a very important question. It must be answered. Who is your waifu? So waifu, does that have to be an anime character? Or just a female video game character?
It can be a female video game character. It has to be a 2D character, so as long as it's a video game, we'll let it slide. We already know who my waifu is. Good old Felicia. Cat Girls for Life.
Ooh, good call. I'm going to have to go with Hibiki. She's quiet, reserved,
wow.
Man. She can screw shit
wow.
up. She was my main in CVS too, so you know what?
CVS too. Oh.
That's a good one, isn't it, man? You don't know what she's hiding under that skirt. No, I'm just kidding.
I respect the CVS too.
Yeah. Hibiki, man. Hibiki. She would protect me, man. She would slice and dice in the kitchen, man. Oh, wait, that's bad. She would slice and dice everywhere, man. She would slice and dice. That's all I got to say. Anybody with a katana is okay in my book. She'll protect me. So, yeah, that's a good answer. I just came up with it. Thank you. Chun-Li, obviously, is an obvious one. Okay. How do you feel about sponsored players begging for donations to go to tournaments? It's a long topic. If people want to pay, man, that's on them. That's their decision. I think there's other ways to do it, but I think if they, just like Mr. Miller over here has talked about before. Give back to the people that donate to you. Take some time to thank them. Give them fighting game advice. Talk to them on a stream. Play some online games with them. I think if you do that, it's worth their while, and they'll feel like they were a part of something bigger than just going, here, have fun on my dime. You can agree, right? There's no reason to get into this.
I had a nice long rant on my Ash.fm. You guys can check it out. I think I already linked the chat earlier, so just scour with my Ask.fm if you want my opinion on the issue.
Right. Okay, Banana Ken asks, underperforming needs to be prevented first, but would you prefer pot splitting to stop as well? Here's my honest opinion on this. We've all done it at smaller events. I would never want it at a big event, but as long as it is not ever talked about, colluded, underperforming, whatever you do with your money after the event is completely concluded is completely up to you. That is the player's decision, I feel. You're not going to be able to police somebody and go, hey, the best way to stop it is cut checks, man. Send them a check in the mail. They're not going to, let them know that you're getting checks. And sorry, you're going to have to either PayPal the money to somebody else and be like, man, that's too much effort, man. I'm just going to kick your ass and keep the money, so.
Hey, man. Or you could always tell second place they're getting a waifu pillow.
Yeah.
Hey, man. I would have walked probably through the airport with that thing. Banana Ken, you scumbag. You put her in a UPS? How dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you ship your waifu?
Let's see. Damian Wayne, son of Bruce Wayne, says, I know it's still too early, but want to know thoughts on Killer Instinct to what you need to see to include in events. I had the second most retweeted tweet at, I love the game, by the way. I played it. I enjoyed it. But I had the tweet when all I heard was Combo Breaker, and they were doing the exhibition. I'm like, coming back when Marvel starts.
That was pretty good. I retweeted that one myself.
Yeah, I had so many retweets, and I felt so bad. But Xbox One, Microsoft does sponsor me. If they can get rid of the Kinect requirement, the system is going to be right where it needs to be in competition-wise. I just think Killer Instinct being a release game is going to be hard to host at tournaments because nobody's going to have the sticks yet. Nobody's going to be able – that's basically investing $800 in a single game for fighters for next gen. So hopefully gets an update or patched in a year or so, or a year after the Xbox One comes out where more people can easily access it. I just think they need to up the damage and cut back on the combo breakers because I literally played my second game with some guys. They were closing Friday night, and I literally did 7 combo breakers. They're like, yeah, you have to guess when your opponent hits, the double or the Big Buford double checker cheeseburger, whatever they call the moves, double auto or whatever. And I literally combo break 6 times my first game. Have you played this before? I'm like, nah. I know what my opponent's gonna press. It was easy. So I think they need to change that. But I'm excited for the game. I'm probably gonna get an Xbox One from Microsoft. Thank you guys. Yeah,
I'm gonna definitely wait for the first generation of the new systems to come out before I decide to buy one or not. I'll wait and see. That's my current plan. I don't think it's a bad one.
Nice auto doubles. Thank you, Gunstar IQ. So yeah, to include it, I think if they can have some tournament factor to get rid of the connects, because those things are huge, man, and those are going to be so easy for people to jack at events. So it's not like a Wii sensor bar. It's in there. Okay. This is a good question. Did you ever play Street Fighter 4?
Yeah, actually, I played Abel and Vanilla, and then I've played Makoto since. I kind of dabble, but I'm not hard duty.
Okay, well, good question. How do you feel about Capcom copy and pasting SFXT characters and stages in the next version of SF4? I mean, besides adding some new characters, I'm okay with it. I love the game the way it is.
They're gonna play differently. It's a different engine, so they have to play differently.
Yeah, I'm excited though, man. When I play, even for fun, I honestly bounce between 8 characters. I'm really excited for Rolento. I used him a little bit in CVS2, and Hugo's going to be interesting.
Walk up, jab, jab, jab.
It's not going to be that
jab,
bad.
Jab.
I mean, it'll be maybe when Sakura does that to Sagat, but not nearly as bad.
It's gonna be boxer tier. It's gonna be jab, jab, jab. You get a button, jab, jab.
Dude, they're
jab.
giving back his damage, I think, and his recovery on his headbutt is gonna be better. So I'm still happy maining him. But it's always nice, man. I think it's one of the best fighters out, man. That's why the most people play it, and it's nice that they update it. Obviously, people want a Street Fighter 5, but we're not ready yet, man. As long as this game keeps going, they can copy and paste whatever. So plus they have a completely original character coming out, so I'm excited for that whenever they announce it. Yeah. What do you think of Mohamed Zarouni? Some guy asks, what do you think of running random character side tournaments at CO 2014? I think it might be interesting to watch. I would love to do that. I would love to do a mystery tournament like UFGT, but it's impossible, man. CO gets such a big turnout that I have to focus on the event itself and the tournaments that are matter. Next year, though, I can tell everyone my schedule for next year. I already know it in full pretty much. Friday noon, teams will start for whatever games. They have to be done, and I'm not even going to stream all the matches. Have to all be done by 8 o'clock. Fighter Mania 2. Then Saturday will be the 6 or 7 main games I do. That I'm stopping it at 7 games. And then 2 finals on Saturday night, and then 5 finals on Sunday. And bam. That is what I think is the perfect schedule for my event. So that's what I'm going to do. You think that's a good schedule?
I think that's a pretty solid schedule, as long as things run on time and everything works out, and we don't have any problems like a ceiling collapsing.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's just freaking team tourneys always screw shit up at tournaments, and I would love to get rid of them, but they provide hype moments, you know. But just so many people are entitled to streams now. We can't stream 10 games evenly, you know. It's just hard. So if you want to see your favorite games, please attend the event so we don't have to stream everything.
Support your game.
Yep. Okay. FGamer, what's with Banana Ken, man? FGamers.sakio.biz has an entry for me and it points out Yoko is my waifu. Thanks, Jebailey. Who's Yoko from? Yoko.
The pillow you gave him.
Oh, whoops.
That's the character.
I just
way to go.
I Amazoned
Way to go, fool.
Okay, I think we're down to the last question. My mouse is stuck on the stream. I can't seem to move the hand. Any help, please? You can take that one.
Sorry. I got one more, though, on mine. Do you think tourney should raise the entrance fee to pay for 20 instead of 10? If you're going to a tourney, why can't you spare 10? Well, how do you feel about that, Jebailey?
I am against it because it scares off a lot of the new players. Then you'll end up obviously having who ends up in the top 8. You'll end up having like 100 players. There'll be more money involved, but we're trying to grow the scene. It's really a tough thing. What I wanted to do was go to these smaller games like King of Fighters and call them legacy tournaments, where I would charge those games $20 because you're having the hardcore players. They're not really bringing in new entrants. And to do that, and they were all against it too. They're like, no, man, we want more people to enter our game. Like, well, it's kind of, staggered or, stayed at a number. Maybe we should bump up the rate and go. So, I mean, I actually thought about why not 15. Like, I thought about late people. You pay 15 and add more to the pot. I just think 10 is a solid number. I would love for people to pay more, but it'll scare off way too many people. That's honestly my opinion. So, yeah,
like one or two events. Like Season Beatings, not the last one, but the last one when it was at Momo's, that was $20. Yeah. But then they did the pot differently, too. It wasn't like a top 3. It was not even a top 8. It was like a top 16 payout.
Right.
So, like, top 16, the, 9 through 16 basically got their money back and, change. Even me, who got, top 8, I got, 7th. I got, $130, and I was like, whoa, I got money? This is awesome. And I was just going off that high after beating Combo Fiend on stage, too, so... I mean, nice. I don't know if 20 or 10, if people would prefer which one. Again, to me, it doesn't matter. I'm not there for the money. I'm there for the win. I have a job, and it gets me the money I need.
Nice. Yeah. I already forgot the question. Anyways, so let's...
Good job, Jebailey.
Last thing. 2 more questions, and we'll call it. Oh, yeah, it should not be $917 for a round trip from St. Louis, man. You got to wait. Flights go up 600 or 6 months is when you can actually book flights, so you're looking at it too soon. And then Jason Liu, Anime Lover, thanks for coming out. Would you be willing to incorporate your Disney ticket sales with CO 2014? I would love to give you guys an amazing deal, but Disney World is just so expensive. My demographic is basically families with kids that they're forced to pay those prices, so it's really tough. Yeah, I think that covers it, man. That wasn't bad. How did we do, guys, in the stream?
Yeah, how do we do? Are we fraudulent? Are we good? Are we the best people ever? Are you forever replacing Ultra Chen? We're now the great representation of the FGC? I think so.
Not. Yeah, definitely not. So, okay, last thing, Evo pots. What's my thought on the Evo pot size? Again, their rules. I'm not defending them. I did not agree with the fact that they didn't announce it on their thing. It was during the event, but last year a lot of people complained it was top heavy, so the players were happier with the top 8. But Evo, the FGC is not about the money. I hate to admit it. We would love to see players win more, but there's no money coming in from the big companies right now. Everyone's in a hiatus because of the economy and next generation, so there were no pot bonuses. I do think top 8 should be paid, or even top 16, like me and Keats do if the turnouts are there. But I mean, the players, if a player's upset with something, they need to be more vocal about it. But I mean, at the end of the day, they're winning more money from, not esports money, but they're winning more than they would have anywhere else for what they're good at. So, yeah. I mean, that's it. Everyone's like, why do you bash VXG but you defend Evo? I'm like, because it's Evo. No. I didn't agree with it being changed mid-tournament or whatever. And they still, I don't think, even updated on the website. You just have to always be honest about your payouts and stuff and not change it. But at the end of the day, man, it's just our scene is about the camaraderie, the fun, the competition.
We're still young in the world of the esports. People try to compare us to StarCraft 2. They started in, late 90s, that whole esports thing, so they had plenty of time to grow. We're still growing, so we got plenty of work to go on before we can kind of get to that tier level, and it's just going to take a little bit of learning experience.
Right. So, all right, I think we're going to end the show, guys. Thank you so much. Chris, man, I really appreciate it. Tell them about yourself. Anything, last words?
All right, quick shout-outs. If you're in the Baltimore, Maryland area, Saturday is our month.
Chris?
Ian, it's a cookout. You hear me?
Yeah, you're back.
Sorry. Yeah, no. Xanadu Monthly, $20 venue gets you free food and drink at the event. Baltimore, Maryland. Check us out. VG Boot Camp. Other than that, shout out to Unknown. Stay fraudulent, you asshole. Other than that, shout out to my area. Thanks for keeping me grounded, and thank you, Jebailey, for having me on.
Very welcome, man. Next, my next event in Orlando is CO Bar Fight, September 1st. You got Summer Jam coming up. You have TFC coming up. Shadowloo Showdown. I got to talk to Canada, make sure they don't book those dates. Although, again, it's it's a local event. It's a charity event, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you guys honestly want me to do more shows like this, I would not mind starting a talk show every week and bringing on a new guest and stuff like that. But, always follow Hoshen. I always love his Ask FMA questions, which got me into it. But nobody's asked me a question since I started it. So, sad face.
Really, no one wants to know what you think.
Yeah,
no one wants to know.
Hey, man, I mean, everyone's mid-tier like you, so they want to know another mid-tier's opinion.
Damn, I'm gonna get my tournament win. I'm gonna have my pop off, and it's gonna be the best.
Hey, I gotta give you credit though.
Dance.
You're the only Marvel player that's also good at Persona. Isn't that correct? Or the vice versa?
I think I am the best Marvel Persona player. So
you are.
I hold that trophy.
Not gonna take it away from you, man. So good for you, man. All right, guys, we're gonna call it. Go over to twitch.tv/ Iron Galaxy right now. They're showing some stuff. And Jebailey out, guys. This will be on the archive soon. Thank you for watching. Take care, Chris.
Later, folks. Later, Jebailey.